Brilliance Audio presents Trial, Error, and Success 10 Insights into Realistic Knowledge, Thinking, and Emotional Intelligence by Sima Dimitrijev, Ph.D., and Maryann Karinch. Performed by Tanya Eby. Accept that chance can trigger unpredictable cause and effect chains. Climate models is an example of math equations whose purpose is to provide us with quantified predictions. Many businesses, governments, and other people use these predictions to make critical decisions. Climate models incorporate many possible causes, such as greenhouse gas emissions and changes in sunspots. One of the causes for greenhouse emissions is human activities, but we will leave for later the discussion about predictability of human actions. Regarding the changes in sunspots, science tells us that the cause is changes in the sun's magnetic field. But what causes the changes in the sun's magnetic field? One possibility is random fluctuations of the particles creating the magnetic field, which implies that the first events in this cause and effect chain occur purely by chance. It means that we cannot predict, not even in principle, specific changes in the sun's magnetic field, and, hence, we cannot predict the climate changes due to this factor. The ignorance in the sense that something cannot be known is different from the ignorance in the sense that we simply don't know something. We can't blame you if you find it difficult to accept that random events initiate cause and effect chains. The belief that absolutely nothing can happen without a cause is common. It is also the starting point for reasoning and arguments by most scientists. Philosophers describe this idea by the word determinism. In the example of sunspots and the sun's magnetic field, determinism implies that something had to cause the changes in the sun's magnetic field, even if we don't know what. However, this just shifts the question of the initial cause a step back. The idea that the cause for changes in the sun's magnetic field has to be something that we don't know, which in turn is caused by something else, leads to an infinite cause and effect chain. Therefore, the cause and effect chains are either infinite or they begin with random events. Einstein summarized these two alternatives in a letter to Max Born by the following words: "You believe in the God who plays dice, and I in complete law and order in a world which objectively exists." We can say that Einstein's complete law and order is consistent with the idea of infinite cause and effect chains, but it is inconsistent with the theory of Big Bang. If there was nothing before the Big Bang, then there was nothing to cause it, which means that the Big Bang had to be an unprovoked random event. You may wish to disregard this issue as a purely philosophical problem, but what is important here is the inconsistency of the physicists professing both determinism and the Big Bang theory. Why would you ignore this inconsistency to adopt their belief that causeless events cannot happen? Do not forget that chance has two faces: bad luck and good luck. In terms of scientific predictions, chance is bad luck because it scatters the experimental data around a theoretical expectation. We are taught to attribute this scattering to experimental errors, but this leads to bad decisions when a rigid theory turns out to be more precise than reality. In real life, the chance that gene mutations will initiate cancerous cells is also bad luck. Our immune system removes newly formed cancerous cells, but it is not perfect, and its effectiveness tends to drop as we age, especially in the light of bad lifestyle choices. The implication is that we can minimize the impact of bad luck by creating a healthier environment for the mechanisms in our bodies. The business implication is that creating a healthy working environment is the best defense against inevitable instances of bad luck. However, there is also good luck in real life. A lottery win is an example of good luck, which also conveys an important warning. Good luck is too rare to be squandered. Putting aside the extreme examples of good and bad luck, it is fair to say that instances of bad luck are far more frequent. However, we can utilize a rare instance of good luck to make a much bigger difference. An example of a big difference is the development of the first marketable incandescent lamp by Thomas Alva Edison. Incandescent lamps were demonstrated well before Edison's development, and Edison was able to replicate the previous results when he started his development. But these were short-lived lamps, and Edison did not try to build a business with them. He concluded that a lamp would have to last longer than 1,000 hours to be accepted by the potential customers. Thinking that the lamp filaments were the cause for the short lifetimes, Edison undertook trials of different materials. The first attempt was a failure. The second guess was also a failure. He continued. The 10th filament material also failed. At this stage, most people would have interpreted these experimental results as the certainty of continued failures if the search for better filaments was to continue. Short of giving up, the only hope would have been to try something else.